Hello, my sweet friends. Your host Shurma here. A very warm welcome to another brand new floral video tutorial on my art channel. Would you like to know how to create golden pink roses with acrylic colors? Yes? Then come along and paint with me. The supplies which I would be using for today's project are all listed over here. So let's begin with the first chapter, that is creating the background for the painting. Initially, I have a white watercolor piece of square paper and it is already mounted on a gold cardstock, its size being 6.2 inches on both sides. Next, I bring in a masking tape and mask off from all the four sides, including the gold border. This is because I would be using liquid watercolors to create the background, and I would like to have a nice clean border on the white watercolor paper. At this point, I bring in 3 liquid watercolors, that is pink, purple and green. I drop each one of them on the white watercolor piece and I try to spread carefully with the help of flat brush number 6 and some water. Once I am happy with the background, I leave it to dry. That leads us to chapter number 2, that is painting the golden pink rose. Here is the palette for the rose. I have acrylic colors, namely pink, deep magenta, portrait pink, gold acrylic and permanent rose along with white acrylic. I bring in the same flat brush number 6 and I'm loading it with pink, portrait pink and white, and I'm blending the colors well. Now here I would be adopting the decorative stroke technique, in which we load the brush with more than one color. So this is multi-loading of the brush, and that will help us to create beautiful shading and highlighting with the same stroke of the brush. So at this point I bring in my flat brush number 4 and I have permanent rose, gold acrylic color as well as deep magenta on it, and I'm trying to create a very loose form of the rose. Next I bring in my flat brush number 6 again, and it is loaded with portrait pink, pink and white acrylic. And here I begin with the first layer of petals of the golden pink rose. I have something very interesting to share with you, and I would be talking about it while you watch me paint. Whenever I look around me in nature or even at the objects which surround me in day-to-day life, their colors are extremely fascinating to me. But have you ever thought where the colors come from? Yes, you guessed it right. They are all because of the mighty sun and the everlasting grace of the Almighty who created it. I had come across a wonderful piece, but I really do not know who has written it, but it has been with me for a very long time. Here it is, and I quote, "How good it is that God above has never gone on strike, because he was not treated fair in things he didn't like. If only once he'd given up and said, 'That's it, I'm through. I've had enough of those on earth, so this is what I'll do. I'll give my orders to the sun, cut off the heat supply, and to the moon give no more light, and run the oceans dry. Then, just to make things really tough and put the pressure on, turn off the vital oxygen till every breath is gone. You know, he would be justified if fairness was the game, for no one has been abused or met with more disdain than God, and yet he carries on, supplying you and me with all the favor of his grace and everything for free. Men say they want a better deal, and so on strike they go. But what a deal we've given God, to whom all things we owe. We don't care whom we hurt to gain the things we like. But what a mess we'd all be in if God should go on strike. Isn't that amazing? I've always wondered about this piece of writing and the depth behind it. It's awesome, isn't it? Did you find it interesting as well? Do leave me a comment and let me know. I would love to hear from you. Your thoughts about the narration as well as the rose painting. At this point, I've brought in my liner brush and I have white acrylic on it, and I'm trying to create some highlights on the edges of the petals. Now, you might have noticed that the rose looks a bit dreamy and watery. For that, I have used the retarding solution. So, more of the retarder you use, the acrylic color becomes more runny, hence the transparent look. Next, I bring in a stencil, gold acrylic color, and a little sponge, and I'm going to create some gold dots through the stencil on certain spots on the painting, just to bring in some interest. Once happy, I go on to the next chapter, that is painting the greenery. So here is the palette. I have aqua green, sap green, olive green, yellow acrylic, and white acrylic. Here I am using my flat brush number 6 and I am loading it with sap green, yellow and white. I can create other combinations as well. I load the colors well for good results. Also, I've already printed a sentiment to the left of the panel before stenciling. At this point, I bring in my liner brush and I have olive green on it and a bit of sap green and yellow as well, and I'm just painting around the edges of the rose. This helps to bring the rose to the foreground. Here you can see I've added more yellow acrylic and I'm trying to use my fingers to spread the color. This is aqua green mixed with yellow and sap green. Yellow and sap green once again to the left of the panel. At this moment, I bring in my flat brush number 6 and it is loaded with sap green, yellow and white. Some stems, and thereafter I go on to create the pretty decorative leaves. You can see I'm creating shading as well as highlighting with just a single stroke of the brush. Do you like the style of decorative stroke painting? Would you like to know more about it? In that case, I would definitely encourage you to visit my past floral painting videos, and I would be very happy to drop some of the links in the description box below. Also, if you happen to click on the I button, which is present on the right hand corner of the screen, that will also lead you to some of the tutorials. Here I bring in my acrylic white color on flat brush number 6. Along with a bit of aqua green, I am creating some very small leaves. Once happy with the positioning of the leaves, I move on to the next chapter, that is painting the rose buds. Here I bring in my liner brush and I have sap green and a bit of olive green on it, and I am creating some stems on which I would be creating the rose buds. So here again I bring in my flat brush number 6 and I have deep magenta, pink and white on it. Here I am trying to create some big fat rose buds. Then I bring in the greens and create those little leaves around the bud. Some more leaves. Next, I bring in my liner brush once again and I have aqua green and a bit of sap green on it, and I'm just trying to connect the leaves to the main image. In the next step, I take off the masking tape from all 4 sides and I'm left with a very clean margin all along the painted panel. So friends, that's a wrap on today's project. Hope you had fun watching me create the golden pink roses on a quote card. If you loved my painting, then please leave a comment below. In case you have queries or suggestions, they are most welcome. So please do not forget to put them down below as well. And it would be very nice if you would like to follow me on my social media handles, and it would be a great pleasure to be in touch with you. Thank you all, my dear friends, for supporting me and showing so much love to my channel. Each and every comment, your like and your subscription is extremely important to me, and I am very grateful to you for that. And as always, thanks a ton for watching till the end. Here are some of my past floral video tutorials. You might like them too. We'll be back very soon with more fascinating floral video tutorials. Till then, stay tuned, take good care of yourself, and bye-bye.